So I first start out with 2 frames, the beginning frame and the end frame, and then I go in and add a middle frame, so like directly in between those 2 frames. As you can see, I'm working on that here. So from this middle frame, I go in and I do a middle frame between this frame and the end and start frames. I don't know how to word it, but you see, it usually ends up with an odd number of frames, which usually bothers me, but you know. And as I do these in-between frames, I suppose, they're very rough and sketchy and they probably look terrible. So I save them all in the order that they are going to appear so that I don't get confused with frames. It makes it easier in the video editing process. So then I go into my video editing program, which is Sony Vegas Pro 13, and I put in all the frames and I have them at a very, very small time frame. It's like 3 milliseconds or whatever they're called. And then I usually have them overlap by 1 millisecond just to, I don't know, it doesn't really make it smoother. I don't know, I just do it. So when I do this, if I notice any like super choppiness, since my animations are still kind of choppy, I go in and add more frames as needed by still doing the in-betweening process, which is just when I have 2 layers and then I draw in 100% opacity for the new frame. It makes it a lot easier if you have each frame a different color when you're drawing it, but I just change the opacity, one to about 20%, the other to about 70%, and I decipher it from there. So I'm not very good at the video editing process. I don't quite know how to use Sony Vegas yet, but you know, it's hard to do. So basically, that's how I animate. If I want to have a panning effect, you have to, well, I don't know if there's a way you can do it without rendering the video first, but I render the video without having it pan, and then I put it in and put a panning effect over the rendered video. I haven't figured out a way to do that without rendering. So basically what I'm doing here is trying to figure out what the heck I want to do with the animation, since she is supposed to be panning across the screen. I don't like the way that my animation turned out, so I'm probably going to go in and edit how I made it, and for the opening it will look different than the animation at the very beginning of this video. So I tried to render the video as like one video and then add a panning effect to it, but it still didn't look right because she was moving very fast and then turned weird, and it just looked ugly. So again, it's more of a trial and error for me in the video editing process, but I don't know. But basically that's how I animate. Yeah, thanks.